Thank you everybody for attending this information session on the RNA Pipeline Grants program. My name is Essa Zarentok and I'm a manager in the Office of the Chief Scientist and Engineer, and I'll be managing the program this year. Before I start, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past and present. So some quick housekeeping before we start. For the duration of the presentation and to assist with connection stability, I ask that you please turn off your camera and mute your microphone. This meeting will be recorded and uploaded to our website later, so if you miss anything, there will be a recording for you to look at and share. The Q&A option of this session has been activated, so please post your questions in the Q&A. You can start now or throughout the session, and there'll be an opportunity for me to answer those questions and for a discussion on specific questions at the end of the presentation. Any questions that we don't get to today, we'll be uploading those answers after this session and on our website on the FAQ page where appropriate. So all questions should get answered. Don't worry about it. If we run out of time, they'll be uploaded on the website. Okay, let's kick off. To begin today's session, I'd like to introduce the Office of the Chief Scientist and Engineer and the core pillars that guide our work and where this program and the wider RNA program fits into our work. So our primary objective is to support the development and application of science, engineering and technology to improve the economic, environmental and social well-being of the people of New South Wales. We deliver on this mission through 4 key functions which are shown on the slide. Number 1, by providing independent scientific advice to the government. Number 2, by supporting research across New South Wales. 3rd, by driving STEM outreach and public engagement. And 4th, by fostering industry development. The RNA Pipeline Grants program, which from now on I'll call the RPG, sits under our industry development function, which focuses on bringing together government, industry, and research to accelerate translation and commercialisation. The RPG program is part of a larger RNA program, which is a key initiative of the New South Wales Government. It was designed to build a globally competitive RNA industry in the state by supporting advanced manufacturing, driving industry development, and attracting investment, and strengthening our preparedness for future pandemics. So on the slide on the left, you can see a bit of a history of the initiatives for the RNA program, and on the right is the objectives of the program. So since 2021, the New South Wales Government has made major investments to establish a world-class RNA ecosystem, starting with a $96 million RNA research and manufacturing facility, which I'll call the facility from now on, which is based at Macquarie University, followed by a $119 million investment in long-term funding to support research and development, workforce development and commercialisation with initiatives rolling out since 2023. I'll cover a few of these in the next coming slides, so a bit more information on the facility and the initiatives will be detailed in the upcoming slides. So this commitment has evolved into a coordinated program to grow the RNA industry and research ecosystem in New South Wales, encompassing RNA Australia, a statewide network to advance RNA therapeutics and workforce development called the RNA Research and Training Network, and lastly, targeted grants to support the pipeline of RNA-based products and companies. So a bit more on the RNA facility. It is on track to be operational by 2026, and as I said, this will be based at the Macquarie University campus in Sydney. And the facility will focus on manufacturing GMP-grade RNA therapeutics, vaccines, and related technologies. This includes plasmids, mRNA, and lipid nanoparticles with integrated fill-finish capability. Now, the broader RNA program is designed to grow a thriving RNA ecosystem around this facility. So it does this by attracting investment, supporting commercialisation, and building workforce capability and capacity across the RNA value chain, and improving access to research infrastructure. On the right-hand side of this slide, you'll see 2 key initiatives from the RNA program driving this effort. The first is the New South Wales RNA Research and Training Network, or the RRTN, which is a collaboration of 12 New South Wales universities and their associated research institutes, which focus on research, training, and strategic programs in RNA. This was launched on the 22nd of July at the same time as the RPG. The second initiative is RNA Australia, which is a joint venture between the 5 New South Wales and ACT universities and New South Wales Government. It will serve as the front door to the RNA ecosystem, so connecting researchers, industry, government, and investors. At the end of this session, I'll have QR codes, which you can go to their website and learn a bit more. So if you are in industry, if you're in academia, if you are in government and you work in RNA, I highly encourage you to check out both the network and RNA Australia. Okay, now onto the RPG program, which is what you all came for. This is the third major initiative in the program, RNA Program by New South Wales Government, and it's designed to build a strong pipeline of RNA-based products in New South Wales, helping bridge the gap between research discovery and scalable commercial production. The RPG supports New South Wales companies developing RNA therapeutics, vaccines, and related technologies that are progressing towards manufacturing readiness and commercialisation. The goal of the RPG is to accelerate translation and ensure the facility has a steady pipeline of innovative products to manufacture. It was launched on the 22nd of July by our office, the Office of the Chief Scientist and Engineer, and the program is a single-round competitive grant program offering up to a total of $6 million in funding. New South Wales-based companies can apply for grants up to $3 million for projects across health, agriculture, biosecurity, and applications close on the 16th of September. So this is a bit of an overview of the main objectives, the closing date and the amounts, but I encourage you to please refer to the program guidelines for more information on the details of this program. Now, this is a slide showing how the 3 key RNA program initiatives, so that's the RNA Pipeline Grants, RNA Australia, and the network, align across the product development pipeline and the Technology Readiness Level scale, and how they complement other initiatives within New South Wales, such as the New South Wales Biosciences Fund, which is run from our office again, and other New South Wales manufacturing facilities, such as the facility that we're developing on Macquarie campus, the NSW RNA Institute, and the Biologics Innovation Facility at UTS. Now, the remainder of the session will focus on the eligibility and assessment criteria and how to apply to the RPG program. So to be eligible, applicants must have an ABN and be registered for GST. They must also be headquartered in New South Wales. Eligible applicants may include a company incorporated under the Corporations Act 2001, an Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander corporation, an individual or partnership that agrees to form a company if successful, or a New South Wales public organisation or medical research institute or a research institute that agrees to spin out into a company. This last point is really important. So if you are an academic researcher at a university or a research institute based in New South Wales, you can still apply, but you must agree to spin out into a company by the time you receive the grant funding. We encourage joint applications to be submitted, but a lead organisation must be nominated in the application. And importantly, all applicants must hold the IP, all the rights to commercialise their technology in Australia as well as major international markets. Some examples of ineligible applicants. These include certain organisations such as This includes individuals, government agencies, international companies, and any business that is insolvent or not intending to form a company. Please note this is not an exhaustive list, so I encourage you to refer to the program guidelines or reach out to us if you're unsure if your organisation or if you are ineligible for applying. So let's move on to what kind of grant activities are eligible under the RPG. So to be eligible for RPG funding, your project must already have a proof of concept and be positioned between Technology Readiness Level, or TRL, 3 and 6. And have a maximum project period of 2 years with clear and achievable milestones. It should aim to move on innovation along the commercialisation pathway, be based primarily in New South Wales, and demonstrate a clear need for funding. So you don't have to have the whole project based in New South Wales, but the majority of it should be based in New South Wales. And again, this will be outlined in the application and more details in the program guidelines. Lastly, the projects must align with products that could be manufactured at the facility, such as RNA vaccines and therapeutics, plasmid DNA and gene therapy components, RNA delivery systems, or products used for animal and agricultural health. This slide gives you a summary, but again, more details are in the program guidelines. Now for examples of ineligible grant activities. Now these are detailed on the slide, and they include projects that are too early, such as TRL 1 to 2, or too late in development, such as TRL 7 and further, such as those at the ID stage already near market, so they won't be eligible. Likewise, applications without a proof of concept that lack a clear manufacturing pathway in Australia, or that focus on products not manufacturable at the RNA facility, such as siRNA or digital tools without a tangible RNA products, are unlikely to meet the grant requirements. Please note this list is not exhaustive, it's just examples, so refer to the program guidelines or reach out to us if you're unsure. Now on to the grant costs. So the RPG can support a wide range of costs, which are listed on this slide, that help progress your innovation towards commercialisation and manufacturing. These include funding for preclinical and validation studies to assess safety, efficacy, and stability, optimization of RNA constructs, delivery systems, or manufacturing processes, and the production of a prototype or pilot batches. It can also support work to improve manufacturability or reduce costs using enabling technologies, as well as regulatory readiness activities such as pathway planning or certification. Commercialisation planning, like developing reimbursement strategies, conducting market feasibility studies, or engaging with potential manufacturing partners, is also eligible. Funding can go towards IP protection, accessing specialised infrastructure or expertise, and covering the salaries and consumables needed to deliver the project. All eligible costs must be clearly linked to the project's objectives and milestones. Now on to examples of the ineligible costs under the RPG. So while the RPG supports a wide range of activities that directly advance RNA-based innovations towards manufacturing and commercialization, there are some costs that cannot be covered under the RPG. These include capital expenses, like the purchase of land or property, and any costs associated with preparing your grant application. The program also doesn't allow retrospective funding, so any expenses incurred before a formal offer is made will not be reimbursed. In addition, you cannot fund grant activities already supported by other government grants or subsidies. So that's New South Wales grants or other grants from other state or territory governments or the federal government. General business operating costs such as rent, sales, marketing, and travel are also ineligible, as are initiatives aimed at improving internal business processes that don't directly support the RNA product being manufactured. And finally, all funded activities must be completed within the project period, and work that extends beyond the grant timeline will not be eligible. And again, please note this list is not exhaustive, so refer to the program guidelines or reach out to us if you're unsure. Now, on to how to actually apply for the RPG. So like all of our other programs or initiatives, you must put your application through our Smarty Grant system. On the slide, you'll see a URL and a QR code, which will navigate to the application form on Smarty Grants. I encourage you to check it out before you actually start your application. Go through all the pages. There's quite a bit of information that's requested, and we cannot provide extensions with, for everybody going through. So please review what's required on the form so you can actually fill out everything if necessary. This is now the assessment criteria slide, and applications for the RPG will be assessed against the 5 key criteria on this slide. These are strategic alignment and impact, so how well the project aligns with the objectives of the RPG and contributes to the RNA ecosystem. And I encourage you to look at the objectives which are detailed in the program guidelines. The second is commercial potential, so the likelihood that the project will lead to a marketable product and attract further investment. The third one is technical merit and feasibility. The scientific and technical strength of the project and its potential for successful delivery. Fourth, capability and track record, which is the expertise, the resources, and the past performance of the applicant team. And lastly, budget and value for money. So whether the proposed project budget is realistic, justified, and offers strong value for investment. These criteria together ensure the funding is directed to projects with the greatest potential for real-world impact, commercialisation, and contribution to the growth of the RNA industry in New South Wales. Each criterion will be scored and weighted as outlined in the program guidelines. So a copy of this criteria is in the program guidelines with more information about how it will be assessed. So please check out the program guidelines. Now on to how the assessment process works. It is a three-stage assessment process. The first stage is an initial eligibility check by the Office of the Chief Scientist and Engineer. So all submitted applications will first be screened for eligibility, and any applications that do not meet the eligibility criteria will not proceed to the second stage. Now, the second stage is an assessment by an independent expert panel. So all eligible applications that pass through stage one are reviewed and scored against the assessment criteria I just showed you. The panel may invite applicants to interview for clarification or further discussion if needed. However, the panel may not have interviews, so you'll be informed if this is required. The third stage is the final decision by the departmental secretary. So based on the recommendations of the independent expert panel, the Secretary of the New South Wales Premier's Department will make the final decision on which projects are funded and how much funding is allocated. This process ensures a transparent, merit-based approach to award funding and supports the selection of high-quality projects that can deliver the greatest impact for New South Wales. So here are some key dates for the program. Applications open on the 22nd of July, and they'll close at 1 p.m. on the 16th of September later this year. We expect interviews for shortlisted applicants, if required, will be conducted in November later this year. And again, we expect notification of outcomes around November, December of this year. Lastly, we expect the announcement of the recipients of the program to be in December to January next year. So there's a bit of a timeline there. Now, this slide highlights the support available to applicants through the grant process. Firstly, I'd like to point out there are a number of accelerators, tech transfer offices, and early stage venture funds across New South Wales that you may be able to access for help in preparing your application or progressing your project. The listed ones included here include Cicada Innovations, IP Group Australia, Main Sequence Ventures, Uniseed, SB Australia, and the list goes on. If you are interested in these, there are hyperlinks on how to learn more in the program guidelines, so please access the program guidelines which are available on our website. We also want to ensure that the program is inclusive and accessible, so we encourage people with disability to apply, and we can provide additional support or adjustment if needed. So please get in touch with us directly if you need support. You can also access assistance through services like Communities and Justice, People with Disability Australia, or Legal Aid. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander applicants are also encouraged to apply for the program. For culturally appropriate assistance with preparing applications or navigating the process, we recommend reaching out to Aboriginal Affairs Australia, New South Wales, or your local Aboriginal corporation. If you're unsure where to start or need help connecting with support services, I'm happy to point you in the right direction, so just get in touch.